So we're almost ready to code. In this video, we're going to talk about the last things you need to do to get ready if you're going to be using a Mac for your coding class. So what do you need to do to code HTML and CSS on a Mac? Well, it's complicated. Typically speaking, all you really need is a plain text editor. And so on a PC, it's pretty straightforward. You open up Notepad, you start coding. On a Mac, the text editor is not really a plain text editor. It's actually a rich text editor. So it doesn't really allow you to code because it's just not working at that basic of a level. In short, you need a little bit of help and to go out and seek some different tools in order to be able to code on a Mac. And so my recommendation is to use Edity, which is a tool that integrates with a Google Drive to allow you to do coding right within your Google Drive, just the same as if you're making a Google Doc or a Google spreadsheet. So I think this is the easiest way, and it will allow you to create downloadable files that you can still upload to your FTP server, which we're going to be doing a little bit later on in the class. At this point, I'm just going to walk you through how to install this. It's like a little plugin, and then we'll talk about using Edity to get started to code a file. I'm logged into a Google account here. I'm just going to go ahead and go to the Drive tool. And I've already set up a folder called HTML, CSS that I'm going to be using. You don't have to do that, but I really recommend it just because it'll help you keep your files straight. And then I'm going to set up a new file, right? That's what I want to do. And I don't want, though, a doc. I don't want sheets or slides. I don't want any of these really, but I want something else. So I'm going to go ahead here and click on the connect to more apps. And then we get the marketplace up here, and we're going to type in the title of the app that we're looking for. And here it is. That's the one we're going to install. Just go ahead and click the install and hit continue. It's going to prompt you again to confirm that this is okay. Now notice, it is going to be able to see, edit, and create Google Drive files. So if that makes you uncomfortable, one thing you can do is set up a new Google account that's just sort of empty. It's not connected to your personal Google account that you can use just for the coding classes. So, you know, that's fine. I totally understand if that's a more palatable option, and feel free to do that. It's easy to make up Google accounts. So I'm going to go ahead and say allow. And then I get this confirmation that it was connected to Google Drive. So that's great. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to hit done. Now, at this point, I may need to reload my browser window just so that the new plugin takes effect. And now when I hit new and I go to more, one of my options is Edity. So it's going to give me a whole new file type that I can create. So I'll click on that. The first time through, you might get these messages that you do need to go through. Got a terms. I wouldn't agree to receive the emails, but whatever you want. And so you will have to go through that little process first. And then when you get to here, you want to choose HTML file from the template gallery. And you might get another option there. Okay, and then here it is. So on the left side, you have the area where you're going to code, and then on the right side, you have the preview. If you go under here, you'll see the show preview is checked off. If you uncheck that, you get just the code view, and you notice that right side went away. It is nice to show the preview, though, actually, so that you can see what you're doing. And then eventually here, and we'll start this in the next video, we'll actually start coding. Notice that in order to change the name of the file, you just go up here and change that, and it already is using that HTML file extension, which is very important once we start talking about getting these actually up on a server where they're really on the web. So that's where you do that. And then once you created this file, it is going to be created in your Google Drive. Notice it's here in this folder right where I put it. It's called Web Page 01. And so this is where we could, if we wanted to download it or transfer it in other ways. Eventually, you're going to need to be able to get it off of your Google Drive, well, copy it from your Google Drive onto the server so that it is actually on a website. And we'll get there a little bit later on. When you're ready to edit this file, so let's say we close it out and then we go away, do some other stuff, you want to work on it again. In order to reopen the file, you want to do the Mac equivalent of a right click to get this context menu, and then you want to go under Open With, and then you want to choose Edity rather than anything else, and then that will open it up in this code view where you can actually code on it again. So that will be what you need to do to edit. Just to recap, you're going to open your Google Drive. You'll navigate to the folder where you keep your HTML and CSS files, and again, I recommend having some spot where you keep them so that they can all stay together. You're going to click New. Under More, you're going to select Edity. And then on the launch page, you'll select the HTML template. So follow these steps, and then you'll be ready to start coding.